Okay kids, this is a Kustom with a K, model 12 gauge. Okay, it's got a cool looking speaker in it. It's got like the bullet back speaker, kind of cool looking. But anyway, I turned it on. It stayed on for 2 seconds and blew the fuse. So I changed the fuse and it turned on for 2 seconds and blew that fuse. So something ain't right. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're in. And looks like a pretty simple solid state amp. That's our power transistor for like 16 watts. Ooh, we're really rocking. But let's just start with the easiest thing. Blind squirrel, what do you see? I see two nutted capacitors looking at me. So these two filter caps look really honked out. So I figure that's probably the best place to start. We might have that. We might have a voltage regulator here. I don't know what that is. That might be probably a voltage regulator. I don't know. I don't have a schematic for the circuit, but we've gone after these like a blind squirrel before and we've won, so might as well pull this board out and give it a good look over. Okay, so we have two obviously nutted capacitors here, and then we have kind of a roasty toasty resistor right there. But that's one of those metal oxide jobs, or metal whatever it is. Those are usually tough. It looks like it got warm. We might have a shorted transistor on the output or something. More likely on the output, that's what would draw a lot of current. But if these two capacitors are like totally flopped, you know, it's a filter capacitor, it's going to go to ground. If these things are dead shorted, that would explain our problem right there. So let's take a look at the orientation. The negatives are both facing me when the board is mounted that way. And these are supposed to be 2200 microfarad. What are they? 16 volt, 2200 microfarad, 25 volt. So these are Fortune brand. So it's apparently not good fortune to have these in your amp. Alright, let's see if we can suck these puppies out of here. Let's see. Is the iron hot enough? Is it? Not yet, apparently. Really, this thing should be hot. Why are you not hot enough? This one takes a little while to warm up sometimes. That or it's being a pain in the butt with this silver solder. Sometimes these silver solders are a pain in the rear. It's kind of melting it. It's kind of help it. Now that actually appears to have finally done it. It was like almost heated up, I guess, when I turned on the camera. Man, it is not wanting to come off of here. Now that solder is definitely sucked loose. It's not 1000% off, but it's mostly off. Let's see if we can just straighten that lead. That thing's wobbling, it's ready to fall out. Let's just do the other one. This is weird. This desoldering iron usually works way better than this. I wonder if it's just having a bad day. Don't get it, man. Oh sure, that one it does a glorious job now. Second time try. Yeah, those are pretty close. I think this one will pull out. Let's see. Alright, there's one. Let's try the other one. How close are we? We're wiggling and wobbling. Yeah, we're trying to come out. There's a little bit of stray solder on that one lead. Come on. There we go. So, I guess we'll see if the fortune caps have any fortune left in them. This will be a good laugh. It thinks it's 2 diodes. What? I had it on pin 1 and 3. Why would it think 2 diodes? Let's try this. Okay, it thinks that capacitor is 2 diodes. Last time I checked, this tester wasn't that stupid. It's not the greatest tester in the world, but I'm thinking if it's thinking diodes, it's probably dead shorted. It thinks that one's 2 diodes also. And this thing is getting mighty warm just sitting here. Let's put the beeper on it and see what if this is cap is a dead short or not. Oh, well, almost. It went bleep. Let's try some resistance on it here. Sometimes with an ohm meter you can watch it count up and fail. But that shouldn't. This stupid thing should not be testing as diodes. Short it out. Test as diodes. It's charging up. Yeah, it's not charging up well. You can't see my meter over there. The ohm count on your ohm meter should eventually reach infinity with a capacitor. So if you have a capacitor that you're already pretty certain is dead, put the meter over here. You can put your ohm meter across it. See, 1 on this ohm meter means an infinite resistance, or, you know, just, yeah, I've got 1.8. This should go to infinite. And it's like trying to measure a resistance. These things are shot, shot, shot. So I don't know that I have any of these in my drawer, but I'll look around. Maybe I have some. Okay, so I found these from the surplus store. They're made by whoever that is. I've used these in other projects and they seem to work fine. And those other projects are still operable, so I'm going to assume they're probably okay. They're a little bigger because they're 35 volt. They're just a generally heavier duty capacitor. But we'll stick them in the magic tester and see how they do. Well, it helps if I have both leads in, huh? Alright, let's try that again. Capacitor, there you go. So, yep. That looks better. Okay, so the negative was facing me. Yeah, that would be, the negative would go this way. The lead spacing on this is going to be a little off, but we can make it work. Hopefully these leads aren't too fat. Not really. Yeah, it'll work with a little bit of finagling. So we'll finagle these two in and then see where we're at. And welcome to Soldering Stuff. Today we're going to solder stuff just like everybody else solders stuff. We're going to solder stuff on camera, just like everybody else on the YouTubes that does electronics does. Exciting stuff. You can watch my solder technique and then tell me that I'm not doing it the way that somebody else would do it. So therefore I must be wrong, because that guy has more subscribers than I do. I think that's how it works on the internet, isn't it? Something like that. Okay. And we'll trim our leads now. Those actually, despite being a little bigger and the lead spacing being a little wonky, they actually fit on this board better than I thought they would. They're definitely a heavier duty cap. So apparently the Fortune caps are Misfortune caps. I don't know what year this amp was made, but if it was early 2000s, this might be part of that crap cap years. So there's our board with the new caps. They kind of look like they belong there, don't they? Alright, cool. So we'll half-bake assemble this back together, flip it back on, see if it blows a fuse or if smoke comes out. Oddly enough, everything seems to be going my way this evening. I think I found the same fuse I actually need, which is weird. I think it's a .315. Sounds about right. The other amp, or the other fuse that came out of there, I think said 315. Either that or 317. I certainly don't think that's a 3 ampere on something this puny. It's definitely 250 volt. And I see a 315, so I've got a 315 fuse here. It's an old Rat Shack one that I got eons ago. The wire in this one looks a little thinner. I almost just want to stick a big ass fuse in there and watch it burn. But we won't. Okay, is it off? Let's see, is it off? No, it's on, so we'll turn it off. And we'll plug it in. And then we'll turn it on and see if the smoke comes out of it. Alright people, volume's at 0 is what I want. Volume, everything's at 0. Yep. Okay. There's the power light. Okay, so the power light stayed on for more than 5 seconds, which is better than it did before. And my capacitors aren't flaming hot, so that indicates that it's probably not drawing the snot out of them. Let's feel our heat sink here. Not warm. Put right on. Nope. Not warm. This resistor might be warm. It's a big 5 watt. Not warm. With this one. Not warm. Okay. So I think maybe our filter caps were just dead shorted. Suppose we should plug this back in the speaker and see if it makes noise. Cool. I think that's all it was. These two stupid Fortune capacitors. The Misfortune capacitors. Yeah, my new ones seem to... They're not getting any least bit warm. We don't get any explosions. How boring is this channel? Alright, bad camera angle for you. So I haven't totally closed it up, but I did stick it back in the cabinet and plugged it into the speaker just to see if I was right. And I've got the clean channel on. Seems to work. It's on reverb mode. So that's reverb mode. That's a delay chip in that. So what's the other mode? The other mode's supposed to be delay. Oh yeah, that's a delay. Nice and slow, isn't it? Speed's not quite right for that, and if you have any idea what song I'm even hinting at, yeah, you can leave a comment in the section there. Let's just check the pots, see if I need to clean them. I didn't. Bass pot, no bass, full bass. Actually, it's got a decent amount of bass for a little thing. Mid, no mid, all mid. That works fine. Treble, no treble, all treble. That works fine, and we've already actually determine the reverb, whatever that pot is. Okay, that ain't a reverb. That's a delay thing, whatever. Doesn't matter. And our volume. That's supposed to be the clean channel. You can overdrive that puppy. Okay, let's try the drive channel. Let's see, we have gain and volume, so let's put the volume up a little bit and then bring some gain up. Oh yeah. Well, for a little solid state amp, I'm actually a little impressed with this. It probably sounds rubbish in the camera, but... This is actually kind of fun. So the drive channel seems to work fine. Oh, we got like metal territory gain here on this one, buddy. Let's see. This guitar strap's too long to play CD. Well, that's enough fun for the night. It's 10 p.m. I don't need to upset the neighbors. So I can give this a bath, clean it up, and sell it now. It just apparently needed 2 capacitors. Because I think you, I, and everybody else in the room would agree that the amp works just fine now. And probably sounds as the manufacturer intended it to. I know there's probably a lot of other amp channels out there that are fixing vintage Fenders and Marshalls and special, really cool stuff, and here I am, hacking at pawn shop amps. But hey, it is what it is, and none of this electronic stuff has to go in the trash. If you think about it, these capacitors retail, Radio Shack retail, were probably $1.50 a piece. If I remember right, you can buy these for, if you buy in like onesies and twosies, they're like $1 at the surplus store. So a couple dollars and a little bit of know-how. And again, I went in here without a schematic and I just looked. I'm like, the problem's obvious. See, look how dome that is. And the problem's obvious. So that and a fuse. So what? We'll say $5 to repair the amp. And then you got the bench time. But, if I were doing this for you as a customer and I really liked you, it probably cost you $50 to fix. Ain't too bad. This is what I love to do, though. I like to find crap out of the pawn shop for $2 because it doesn't work, or $5 because it doesn't work, and then you make it work, and then you can sell it. And make somebody happy. I mean, there's probably some broke kid in his bedroom that would love to have an amplifier that worked, I don't know. So, I'm not going to kick it to the curb and be obnoxious. I mean, granted, it's an inexpensive solid-state amp, but, not bad. Okay, that's enough chit-chat. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to all the viewers. You guys are awesome. Because, quite frankly, you're not watching intriguing vintage amps. You're watching stuff like this.